Very briefly, while it's still light, I want to tell you what I did. Since I bought it, not a whole lot. That there's your filter. Basically, any particles or water in the gasoline just settle to the bottom of that glass. There's a fine screen at the very top before it comes up down that middle piece, and then it comes up through the fine screen and then up around, up in there, down through this copper pipe. So I cleaned that out really, really good. Took the carburetor apart, cleaned it, put it all back together, got the air cleaner hooked up. And then this copper line was plugged solid. That's probably why this thing wasn't running. Finally, what I did to solve the problem, because I tried a lot of things, is I actually put a braided steel cable into the one side there, something like 1/8 inch thick braided steel cable, very, very thick. I shoved it in as far as it would go, and then I took the copper line and I twisted it and twisted it and twisted it, turning it around while I held the steel cable solid, on a piece of metal with my foot, and I pushed down on so the cable didn't move, and I was pushing the copper line in, and I was twisting it and then twisting it, in the same direction. Finally, when I pulled the steel cable out of the copper line, like 1/4 inch at the end of the cable was covered with nasty dirt and rust and just kind of a yellowy gunk that's probably just dried gasoline. I blew through it, and just maybe about this much of the copper pipe was just full of just kind of nasty rust crap that had settled in one of those, probably the first turn there. So I blew that out. I cleaned it all out all nice. The gas tank looks decent, not great. I mean, you can already see it's turning the gas a little bit yellow, but it's not very dirty, so I'm just going to leave it for now. Anyway, after all that, I now have fuel flow, so this is all turned on, so you can see no leaks. And then when I open this up here, crack this open, this'll drip. You can see that drizzling there, and then of course I shut it off and it stops. So this should be good. It's the float isn't sticky in there, so I think I'm going to try and break my arm on this. First time I've ever started it myself, and this is also the first time this has been started in who knows how long. The guy I bought it from before never actually started it or worked on it. He just he bought it from a friend as a favor. I think the friend's father died and left him this tractor, and the friend needed some money, so he's helping him out. He bought the tractor, and it just sat around. He just didn't have time for it. It does have oil. It's actually pretty clean. It's pretty good. I dropped a little bit of transmission fluid into each of the cylinders. I looked at the spark plugs. They look decent. I have no idea if the spark timing is correct or not, so rest in peace my wrist. I think we're ready to go. I'll double check and make sure it's in neutral, of course. With the clutch in, even though it's in neutral, I just disengaged the clutch because safety forced. Both of our hand brakes are disengaged just because this thing, of course, is chained down, so there's really no reason for them. As you can see here, I mean, this thing is tight. So next thing, we've got our clutch. We have this little metal rod pushed forward, and then, of course, you push on the clutch, and that is as far as it'll go. So the clutch is disengaged, and then on the transmission here, this is... Oops. Okay, so this is 4th gear here. Okay, so on our transmission here, you pull this little lever here, you push the rod all the way over and down, and the gears are not meshing, of course, but that's reverse. And then, of course, you can disengage this little thing and bring this over here a little bit, and then this right around here should be 4th gear. Oh, Christ. 2nd gear. And then we bring it up, and that's 1st gear. So 1st, 2nd, and then right here in the middle is neutral. Bring it over somewhere around here. That's 3rd, okay. And we got our choke down over here. I'll give this maybe like 50%, okay. And then we're gonna finally walk around over here, and this thing is throttle governed, so this just sets the speed on the governor. So let's just feel this. Yeah, right there. I mean, I don't want it to run away on me, but yeah, we'll do one more. And again, I think I did 2 little squirts of ATF into each cylinder, so this will smoke when I fire it up. And actually, I'll turn this, and I'll point this in the general direction that I'm going to have the camera so you can actually see the smoke. It'll come at you. Remember, do not use your thumb when you grab the crank, because if it backfires, say goodbye to your thumb. can put your thumb on the other side of the crank. So all your fingers are going in the same way. You're going to bring it up just to where it starts to hit compression, and then you're going to pull it over compression. And you got to do it fast. If you pull it over compression slowly, when that spark releases, it's going to be a little bit advanced, it's going to backfire, and it's going to fight you. So you got to get it to where you feel it start doing compression, then go, and you want it to spin nice and quick over compression, you know, so it has enough inertia to overcome that and fire, and off it goes. The coolant never hurt anybody. It appears the gas cap and the coolant radiator cap are identical. I'm honestly terrified. I can't even begin to tell you. So I was going to top off this tractor with oil, and I was trying to decide what to add because it matters what's been in the tractor. So if this tractor's had non-detergent oil in it, it's going to have deposits all over, you know, like black stuff that builds up. And so if you put in a detergent oil, just like a regular standard, you know, 1040 whatever, that has detergents in it, it'll clean up those deposits, but all at once. And so they'll clog things inside of the tractor. But if this tractor has been running a detergent oil, then it's safe to add a detergent oil because it's been kept clean. So I wanted to have a look in here and see what it looked like, and I noticed these nuts here are not all the way down on all of them. These ones are slightly more down. And I said, well, wait a minute. Well, what's holding this valve cover on? Well, evidently nothing. So good thing I took a look at that. So we're going to take a look inside of there real quick. Not very easy to see in there, but it looks like this motor's been gone through. Now that looks dirty, but that's actually not. That's just the shape of the cast iron. The cast iron leaves all those weird little deformities on it. But if you look at the surface of it, it's relatively clean. I mean, it's not great, but I think we'll be safe. Because again, we're only topping it off, so we're only going to add like maybe half a quart or something. So a little bit of detergent oil is probably better because it'll, even if there are deposits in there, there'll be so few detergents, it'll clean it up slow enough that hopefully we won't clog anything. I'm sure this will change, but we're going to put our base adjustment on here. This came off of a tractor forum. This is supposedly not for the WC, but for a different model tractor, but has the same carburetor. So that was bottomed out a little hard. Anyway, that's my fault. So we're going to go half, 1 and 1/2 on the idle mixture screw. Supposedly this is the factory manual setting, you know, in the manual. Although every tractor is different, so it's really okay. So we're gonna go half, 1, and then 1 and 3/8. So we're gonna say that's about 3/8. Yeah, that looks like about 3/8. Okay, yeah. And I put a little oil on these rubber hoses here, so it'll actually soak up the oil and soften up and hopefully swell together and seal and not crack or anything. I did a little bit on there too. This one actually, I spilled oil on this inadvertently, and you can see it's like a nice dark color. So this is actually absorbing the oil, so that'll stop that from dry rotting. All right, let's see if we can start it. Just enough. Iron hole. Oh, that might have been something. I bought a tractor. I think I ran out of gas. I forgot to turn the fuel on. Alright, well here's a question on everybody's mind. Dear God, how do you shut it off? Well, I'll show you. There's actually right here. This is to ground out the spark. Maybe. If I can get that. Dude, we're gonna 110%, we're gonna drive this shit around right now. I'm gonna move the trailer forward enough to back this thing off of here. Alright, no more camera. These are hand brakes, so I'm gonna have to go.
So this is super crazy dangerous. That right there is Balin Mania, and we are gonna do something really stupid today. This is a terrible idea. Balin might die. It's making me uncomfortable. Go, Balin!
You riding this?
What the fuck is happening?
Balin said not to talk crap about this camera. It's a piece of shit.
This is so unbelievably sketchy. Why would you put me through this, you jerk?
That's the power of really old engineering.
It'd be nice if it didn't kill me. It's not required.
I felt it fucking pop.
Make a wish, everyone. Make a wish. Not okay. You went too far. This guy, man. This guy.